No one talks about the part of personal development where you get abruptly reminded that it's your fault where you are. Because part of the journey is realizing that if you want to go where you want to go, that you have to get yourself there and no one can do it for you. Which only makes you realize that you're in the place that you're in now because of you. Not because of anybody else. Not because of any external circumstances. But because of the decisions that you made, whether you knew that you were making them or not. No one talks about how hard it is when you're becoming an adult and you're realizing that even if you don't think you're making bad decisions, you're still doing harm to yourself. No one tells you that even if you make good decisions and try and help people, you're still going to suffer and you're still going to struggle. No one tells you how hard it is to overcome your inner demons in order to actually be there for other people. No one actually talks about life in the way that's beneficial towards people's inner growth. Everybody always just wants to talk about money and success and cars, and nobody talks about winning the inner battle, fighting with yourself, going to war with yourself. Because that to me is the only thing that actually matters. Figuring out how to overcome your own demons and overcome your own shortcomings and feeling like you deserve to be here, let alone making your life look cool on the outside. And I don't know if it's part of society or if it's part of the culture that we live in, that it's cool to look cool on the outside but hate yourself on the inside. I think it's part of what society has created, but I'm not going to be the pessimist and sit here and say culture sucks, society sucks. We have the power to change it. That's what I'm trying to do. But nobody talks about the things that are actually important in personal development, the things that are actually going to move the needle towards feeling better instead of just looking better. Because we love to idealize the shit that doesn't fucking matter. It's like, what do we actually care about? Feeling good on the inside or just looking good on the outside? I know I'm not alone, but there's few conversations that I get to have with people who actually care about learning about what it takes. Like, life is hard regardless. It doesn't necessarily suck, but it's going to be hard regardless of what path you take. The easy path, the hard path, it's all hard. But the easy path makes it harder for yourself. Being broke, being poor, being in that place is hard, is extremely hard. Not having money for emergency medical services or food or to give your children the best opportunities possible. Like, that shit's hard, but it's hard because of the choices that we're making. And it takes proactivity towards choosing the harder path that actually makes your life paradoxically easier going forward. Choosing to put yourself in situations that grow and expand your inner self. The person that exists inside of you. That's what's going to make your life feel easier on the outside. When you build up a tolerance towards learning hardship and facing hardship, that's what moves the needle into changing the inner version of yourself, the part of yourself that you go to war with every day. You know, there's reasons why you fight to get out of bed, like I did this morning. There's reasons why you fight to do the things that actually make you feel right. It's because It all starts with how you feel about yourself, what you feel like you're worthy of, whether you feel like you deserve something, whether you believe that you're even capable of getting it. Most people see what other people have nowadays. You see what other people have and you instantly think that you don't deserve that, or you're not capable of getting that. When it's the biggest fallacy that exists. If you didn't see other people getting things that you can't get, you would never believe your self-worth is what it is. If you were never controlled by the filter of society, you would never change who you were from your early years of youthhood, of being a kid. We spend our entire lives being free. Well, we spend our entire childhood being free and creative, and then getting filtered by society, and then trying to find that freedom and creativity again when we get older. We try and reverse the cycle and take back time because we realize that we've gotten so far from who we actually are because of what society is around us and the culture that is around us, that we end up just trying to go back in time. We spend our entire childhood trying to be an adult, and we spend our entire adulthood trying to be a child. Because we care more about the filters and the censorship and what our lives look like, as opposed to how our lives actually feel. Because those feelings that we experienced during childhood, the freedom and the creativity and the love and the curiosity, that's what life is. That's what life is. That's why we're here. And we try and spend so much of our adulthood going back in time, trying to get time back. We waste our health and we do bad fucking shit. We make poor decisions. Because all we care about is what people think and how people see us, when that just buries the hole even deeper. The more you care about what people think about you, the deeper the hole is that you're in. You have to stare that people in the face and act anyway. Be the person in traffic who sings loud as hell and stares at people who look at them. And do it anyway. The moment you put yourself back in a shell, the moment you put yourself back in the hole that you've dug, the 2 steps back that you take. Until you face society, until you put yourself in the uncomfortable situations and act anyway, you're always going to believe that society has power over you. You're always going to believe that who you are doesn't deserve to exist in the modern world. And it breaks my own heart because I feel that way a lot. And I understand that that's not what life is about. I know that that's not what life is about. Life isn't about censorship, and life isn't about filtering who we are, and life isn't about putting ourselves in a fucking little box because society sees a specific person and wants people to be like them. A mold. Success looks different to everyone, to everybody, as it should. Success to a happy father is just being there for his children, getting home at a certain time after work to be there for dinner, to put him to bed, whatever. But the moment that we get filtered and censored, we start going backwards in growth, in development. Because we're so alive and so free when we're young, and somehow just completely go backwards when we start caring about what people think and how people see us. Nothing was ever created, nothing was ever invented, nothing was ever born from the boxes that are put on by society. You can look at anyone. Look at the famous artists that have existed in the world. The Van Goghs, the Da Vinci's. Like, you think they fit a mold for the time period they were living in? And now they're treasured humans. They're cherished people. Their works are priceless. You have the Thomas Edisons and the Benjamin Franklins of the world who went against all opinions and societal norms to invent things that we now use every single fucking day. It's like, we are so far from the level of freedom and creativity that we need to be at as a society and a culture. And I just want to be a part of changing that. Because it's so valuable. You know, if we can put the time towards reversing some of culture's impacts now, then we save ourselves years of time in the future. I know it's hard to act now. I know it's hard to make a choice, to identify differently so that you make better choices today, but people are tired. I'm tired of caring about whether I'm fitting into society or not. Because I've struggled with that my entire life. Worried about fitting in. It's like, I know I don't fit in, but like, why do I feel shitty about it? You shouldn't feel shitty about it. Because it's your uniqueness that actually separates you from people. If everybody was exactly the fucking same, then it wouldn't fucking matter. Then it wouldn't matter. But the moment you see someone who's different, who actually is creative and actually is like alive and not a fucking non-player character, they get fucking shunned and fucking put away. Because you're fucking different. You're different until you're celebrated. Like, you're an outsider until you're celebrated, right? Like, the person who wants to make music and like makes music, who's an outsider and it gets shunned in society, but until they fucking sell a platinum record, then it was, they were in all along. It's like, then they were accepted all along. It's like, no one cares about you until you're successful. Which is, I understand why that's a thing. But just because you don't understand how someone's uniqueness is valuable to the world, it doesn't necessarily mean you should just be fucking putting it away and treating them like shit, you know? It's like, that's the whole reason we're here. The whole reason we have evolved is because people are different. The whole reason we exist today and we have the fucking luxuries that we have today is because people are fucking different. We've gotten so comfortable more and more year after year that people who are different deserve to be lonely and alone. It's like, that's not what life's about. Life is about community and love and inclusion and working together. Because humans are dependent beings. They're not independent beings. There's a reason why we need mating partners and friendships and like I don't really care who you are, but people are reliant. Human beings are reliant on other human beings. That's the way we operate. It's just, say whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. Excuse my French, but I emphatically speak and I use language. I don't care. But the culture needs to shift. The culture needs to change. We're too comfortable in the way that things are. And it's time for people who actually want to be themselves to be themselves.